This is Michele Zaragoza, team leader over here at in Sacramento, California, Premier Fair Oaks. I'm also a leadership coach for agents and leadership. I have Laura here, Laura Miller. I know, so exciting. I finally get to interview you. You have been with KW for a long time, sister. This is exciting to see.
It's been a minute, that's for sure. It's been a
What's
minute.
the main reason that you're with KW?
A tragically loyal person. No, I'm teasing. I think it's because I appreciate the culture. I appreciate the mission. I appreciate when I came to Keller in 2011, it was because we all were part of Hearts That Care, which was a charitable organization that was sort of an extension of Keller Williams, actually still in existence. And what really enticed me was I had a dear friend whose fourth grade son was just diagnosed with cancer. And so Keller Williams reached out to me, willing to grant money and be a part of a lovely solution for Garrett Heisinger and his family. And I was so inspired by that level of outreach and community interest that I thought, well, that's where I wanted to be. And so I joined Keller Williams really because of that.
That is beautiful. What a story.
Then I became
a KW Cares went through and helped.
Yeah. So yeah, I just love that, because I feel like ultimately that's what we should be doing, is taking care of the people and doing our jobs well.
Yes, yes. Well, and if it starts here, it kind of snowballs out too into the community with our Red Day. And I notice a lot of the agents are doing things on their own as well, giving back to the community, which I think is beautiful.
Agreed.
Yeah. So you are one of the top agents here in this office. So congratulations to you.
Thank you. I don't know how it happens, honestly, but thank you.
I hope you do, because you're going to share a little bit about that.
All right. Okay. Fair enough. I'll do my best.
So obviously you ranked really, really high over in, we're in July, so it was May, then it trickled down to June. So tell me, what is your main resource right now for getting your clients into transaction?
I am strictly a referral-based agent, and I know a lot of people don't like hearing that, because I think that they want to think that there's a secret potion out there. But I feel like my gold mine is really taking great care of my clients and treating them like they're my family, preserving my relationships with them after we close escrow, always continuing to be a valuable resource for them, and just being present in their lives so that they see me as their real estate sensei. I don't want them to think of anybody else when they're talking about real estate. So I work really, really hard at always preserving those relationships. And most of my clients become my really good friends.
What is
so it's effortless for me.
What was that?
It's really effortless for me because they become my friends. So it's in the same way we preserve our friendships, we preserve our client relationships.
Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing that. What is it that you do to preserve it? Is there any techniques, any consistent follow-up? Is there, do you do any events? What is it that you do so they know you are the realtor of choice?
So I do a card distribution. I do personalized cards throughout the year, never on, the expected holiday like Christmas. I do them outside season, kind of, some kind of wonky thing, like maybe St. Patrick's Day. I don't host an event. I've often thought about doing that. I kind of prefer a little bit more of an intimate setting. So I do try to spend time every week taking a client or, reaching out to them in some way, taking them to lunch, just chatting with them. I do the American Lifestyle magazine, which is the every other month publication. So I think those are the ways that I try to stay in front of them, is just by being their friend and, reaching out to them the same way you would your friend. And then I do have my regular distributions that I send to them, periodically. And I don't know. I feel very fortunate. I don't know. I can't really say that I do anything super exceptional, except that I really love them and I think they know it.
And consistency is key. If you're doing all of the work, all of the extra work, and you're consistent about it, that's key. Your name is in
That is
front of
my
them, your
personal
face.
thing to make myself, that I tell myself, in consistency in all things lies the power. So stay consistent in your practices, no matter what it is, whether it be your nutrition, whether it be your exercise, whether it be your professional life, and all things stay consistent, because I think the power is in that. And I don't have a practice where like, oh, I get to Christmas and I see that I've met maybe my goals for that year and I start scaling back. I don't do that. I feel like you never know when things might change for you. So I don't ever let up. I never let up on my throttle. And
I
work
love
all the
how
time.
you say that. I love how you just keep going and you keep serving and keep giving back to your database, right? Your sphere of influence. If I was a new agent, what would you tell me to do?
What I did, and I still do, when I feel like I need to do some cultivation, I door knock and I host open houses feverishly. I feel like there's a lot of power in door knocking. So when I would host an open house, I would door knock the area around it. I would, treat my open house like a neighborhood party.
So you do like a circle prospecting.
Mm-hmm. And that's what I did starting. I came into the market when it was a relatively difficult market in 2005. So I didn't come into anything easy. So I had to start out with really beating the pavement. And I
But
feel
that's
like
everybody, right?
that's the only way you can do it and stay consistent at it all the time.
But you stayed consistent.
Mhm. Yeah, I've done it. I will still do it. Even now, I don't ever feel like that is a skill that I need to ever abandon. I should always feel like you never know when your professional life will change and you need to get into the practice of heavy cultivation again. And so I feel like you don't want those skills to vanquish on you. You need to keep them fresh and alive and feel like you're never above it.
Right. Wow. Gosh. Okay. So now if there was one thing that you have done that you're like, why did I do this? What would that be? Like, don't worry about doing this. It did not work.
I bought for my son, when my son was newly licensed when he was 19. He's 29 years now. He's 29. He sells new construction for Lennar. It was good for him, I guess. I paid for Commissions Inc., which is a lead generating platform. I'm sure you're aware.
Mm-hmm.
And I made him do the scripting, which he hated every minute of. And I made him do a calls. And I made him door knock. And I would say probably the return on investment for the Sync platform was probably not very lucrative. It was a good exercise for my son. And in that regard, it cultivated him as an agent, but it didn't translate to business per se.
There you go. There you go. So, all right. So I really appreciate you taking the time to share with me your techniques and jumping on the mic with me. I appreciate it. I think it's very exciting to finally sit and talk with you.
I'm sorry it hasn't been sooner than now.
Oh, no, it's quite all right. I appreciate it. You're a busy gal. I get it.
Oh, today I have an easy day. I just try to think, a couple of things that I do, and I think that does set me slightly apart. I don't know if you're in a lack for time, but I mean,
no, I'm not. I'm all yours.
I'm not. No, so I have no sense of urgency. By the way, I have pajamas on the bottom. I don't know if you
I love this.
I my robe, and I'm like, but if it comes apart in the front, then we're gonna have an issue. I'm like, can I get away with pajamas on the bottom?
You are so funny. Oh my gosh.
It's hot. Is it not hot? It's hot. Anyway, so I do a few things I think that are different. I think it's important as an agent to have something that is uniquely yours. So
I totally agree with that. Sets you apart.
Like for my listings, I stage them. I have all my own inventory. I stage them at no cost to my seller. So I feel like that's an added value. So I try to think of unique ways that I can bring added value, because I feel like there's a lot of people like me. So what's going to make them want to hire me? Because sellers don't. And I do like my listings, but I like buyers too, but they don't really know that they've got a good agent until they've signed a contract, both buyers and sellers, right? So ultimately, just to get them, would I want to hire you in the first place, is you have to show them how you are uniquely different. And for a seller, it means how you will present their property and market it in some way that is somehow different or profoundly different than your competitors, right? So that is one thing that I do that I think does set me apart and makes them more inclined to want to hire me over my competitors.
I
When
love
it's
it.
about buyers, they know that I will be with them at midnight, talking to them if they need me to be, because there's a lot of counseling that's involved in that part of my job. And especially if they're brand new buying. So I give them the assurance that I will never abandon them, that they will always get just me, you know, so I think that helps too.
So let's talk about your organization. I think that was important because you said just me. Do you have a transaction coordinator?
I do, Kathy. She's
Kathy.
exceptional. Kathy
And
Sprague.
she's your right arm.
She
I
does.
bet.
I do my own contracts and negotiations, but she does the disclosure part
Mhm.
of what we need to do to be compliant. So
Do you
I'm
have a
so-
buyer's agent or showing assistant?
Mm-mm.
No, it's just you,
Mhm.
girlfriend. You rock.
Well, I can't say that like that. I feel like, you know, so my husband is licensed, but he really is my bodyguard mostly and my driver, so that I could be working while he's driving, because apparently it's illegal to text and drive. Apparently that's illegal. I now
It
know.
is.
So he will drive me, but pretty much just me. I'm not really great at delegating.
No, I get it. I get it. And you're so successful. So I'm always about, if it's working, why reinvent it?
I appreciate the compliment. I guess I kind of feel that way too. I know that it's not really the Keller system. They kind of want you to.
No,
expand.
I think today's world, it's, if it's working, keep going.
Yeah, well, I
And
love
we're
what I
here
get
to
to
support
do.
you and assist you.
Thank you. And I love
Oh,
what I get to
gosh.
do. I'm excited about having you in the office. I've heard wonderful
you.
things about you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I'm excited to be here. Talk about a life by design. I've been waiting for something like this for a long time, and I really enjoy what I do. I enjoy supporting people and getting them to the next level. So when you're ready to chit chat a little bit further, and we can talk about what's next for you, I would love the time to do that.
All right. Okay. I mean,
ALC baby next year.
well, I am I still on the ALC? Was that, I wasn't sure what happened when we had the office transitions.
Let's put it this way. 2024 ALC will be looking for people in October. So you're on my list.
Oh, thank you.
Especially since you come from your heart. I love that. It's something that for the last 13 years, I've surrounded myself with a very strong ALC that really, really supports the culture that you're talking about. And I want the same here. And what I heard from you, that's what pushed you to come or supported you to come to Keller Williams, and that's keeping you here.
And I've been a part of this specific office through many, many, many transitions. And I mean, I really am tragically loyal. I mean, and I don't mean that in a disparaging way, but I feel like you got to see things through. Even when it's difficult, you have to keep with it and know.
Well, you're a team player. It's the KW family way.
Well, I feel like, and that's, I mean, I don't know. I've loved my life at Keller Williams, and I feel like it's financially a great system, and it's also culturally a great system.
Well, thank you so much for sharing that. I truly, truly appreciate that.